There's a side of women that no one talks about, a part of love that isn't written in the fairy tales, that goes deeper than Instagram quotes and Hollywood endings. It's the psychology behind her love. And once you understand it, you'll never look at relationships the same way again. Love isn't just an emotion. For women, love is a language, a pattern, a rhythm. And while many men try to win her over through logic, gifts, or constant attention, they often fail to understand the very thing that drives a woman's desire, loyalty, and emotional connection. The truth is, women love differently. Not worse, not better, but differently. They connect through emotion, intuition, and meaning. And underneath her love is a psychological blueprint that, once unlocked, gives you unmatched clarity in your relationships. This isn't manipulation. This is understanding. Because the more you understand how women experience love, the more power you have to build a connection that's not only deep, but lasting. So let's dive into the real, raw truth about the secret psychology of women and love. 1. Love isn't logical, it's emotional. You probably heard it before. Women are emotional creatures. But what does that actually mean? It means that women fall in love with how you make them feel, not just what you say or do. You could be rich, attractive, intelligent, but if she doesn't feel a deep emotional resonance with you, she won't fall in love. Because love to her isn't about logic. It's about emotional safety, tension, excitement, vulnerability, mystery, and certainty, all rolled into one. Think of it like this. A man asks, does she make sense? A woman asks, how does he make me feel? That's why a woman can be wildly drawn to a man who isn't conventionally successful, but who makes her feel alive, understood, emotionally seen. Emotional variety is often more powerful than surface-level consistency. Not because women are unstable, but because they're emotionally rich. They seek a connection that can dance, not just exist. So here's the first psychological truth. If you want her love, stop asking how to impress her. Start asking, how do I emotionally impact her world? 2. Women need to feel chosen, but not owned. Another powerful truth. Women crave to feel special, to feel that out of all the noise in your life, you chose her. Not because you needed to, but because you wanted to. There's a deep psychological reward for a woman when she feels selected by a man who could have anyone, but values her. But here's the paradox. While she wants to feel chosen, she also wants to remain free. What does that mean? It means that if your love turns into control, if your attention turns into emotional surveillance, if your commitment becomes emotional ownership, she begins to withdraw. A woman's heart opens when she feels seen, desired, and respected, but not possessed. You don't need to dominate her. You need to dance with her, give her room to feel, to move, to breathe. Because that freedom is what allows her to stay close to you, not run from you. Love is not a cage, it's a mirror. And the more clearly she sees herself in your presence, the more deeply she bonds with you. 3. The deep need for emotional leadership. Let's destroy a myth. Women don't want a soft man who agrees with everything. They don't want a yes man. They want a man who can lead emotionally, not control, not dominate, but led. Because in the psychology of love, women crave emotional safety. And safety doesn't mean you're quiet and agreeable. It means you're grounded, composed, and centered. When a woman is emotional, what she's often testing is your frame. Can you remain calm in her chaos? Can you hold your center when she's spiraling? Can you meet her emotions without shrinking or exploding? That's emotional leadership. It's the kind of strength that says, I hear you, I see you, and I'm not going anywhere. It's the kind of confidence that reassures her without words. And when you can lead emotionally, she trusts you, not just with her body, but with her heart. That's the kind of man she gives herself to fully. Not because he asked, but because he earned it. 4. Women fall for the story you create together. This is one of the biggest overlooked truths. Women don't just fall in love with you. They fall in love with the story they live when they're with you. Humans are wired for story, but women especially attach emotionally to experiences, patterns, rituals. So when you create emotional moments, she stores those moments as chapters in the story of your relationship. Every meaningful glance, every deep late-night conversation, every shared laugh, spontaneous adventure, moment of vulnerability, those become the emotional glue of her love. It's why women remember the little things. Why she brings up that song, that scent, that one day at that one place. Because it wasn't just an event. It was a chapter in the story of how she fell for you. So how do you use this? You become the author of that emotional story. You create space for experiences through presence, intention, depth. You don't just hang out. You build a world together, one meaningful page at a time. Because when she feels like she's part of something bigger than herself, that's when her heart belongs to you. 5. Desire and certainty must dance. One of the most mysterious things in a woman's psychology is this. She craves two things simultaneously. 1. Certainty, the safety of knowing she's loved. 2. Desire, the excitement of not fully having you. These two energies seem like opposites, but together they create passion. If you give her only certainty, she feels safe but bored. If you give her only desire, she feels thrilled but insecure. So what does that mean? It means you must be predictably mysterious. Be a man she can count on emotionally, but who also carries a spark she hasn't fully tamed. Flirt with her even when you're 5 years deep. Challenge her. Let her into emotional and romantic territory she didn't expect. Don't just be her boyfriend, be her adventure. Because when certainty and desire exist in harmony, that's when love becomes irresistible. 6. The unspoken power of subtle tests. Now let's go deeper, because one part of female psychology most men misunderstand or fear is the concept of tests. Yes, women test, not because they're manipulative, but because they're seeking truth. She might say something slightly critical. She might pull away a little when she feels too close. She might challenge your opinions or flirt with ambiguity. Why? Because she's subconsciously asking, are you who you say you are? Can you hold your ground? Can you meet me emotionally without folding or flinching? These tests are rarely conscious, but they're real. And when you fail them, when you get reactive, needy, insecure, she feels it in her body, and something disconnects. But when you pass them, not by fighting, but by staying grounded, present, unbothered, she relaxes into her feminine. She lets go. She trusts you. Because women don't fall in love with the perfect man. They fall in love with the man who's rooted enough to stay calm in chaos. 7. Love must be nourished or it starves. Finally, let's talk about maintenance. A woman's love doesn't just happen once. It must be fed. Too many men win the girl, then stop showing up emotionally. They forget the little things, the check-ins, the energy, the presence, and slowly, her emotional tank starts to dry. She becomes distant. She starts to look for connection elsewhere. Not because she's evil, but because her love is starving. Love isn't a fixed thing. It's a living thing. It needs laughter, curiosity, touch, new experiences, deep conversations. If you want to keep her love, you have to water it. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be aware. If she's feeling disconnected, don't panic. Lean in. Ask her what she needs emotionally. And listen, not to fix, but to understand. Because when a woman feels consistently emotionally met, she stays. She softens. She commits, not just physically, but soulfully. Conclusion. The love she craves starts with you. So what does all this mean? It means that love isn't random. It's not just chemistry or timing. It's psychological, emotional, primal. And when you understand the secret psychology of a woman's love, you stop chasing it and start creating it. You impact her emotionally. You lead with grounded strength. You balance certainty with desire. You make her feel chosen, but never controlled. You become the emotional presence that no one else has offered her. Not because you're trying to manipulate, but because you're finally aware. Aware of what she needs. Aware of how she feels. And aware of the kind of man you must become to call that kind of love into your life. This is the truth no one teaches, but it's the truth that changes everything. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start connecting on a real soul level, then this is your invitation. Become a man who understands her psychology, and you'll never have to compete for her love. She'll give it freely and forever